Ooh, I got a Kyle Harrison comment that I need to make.
Right here, right now?
Well, you tell me.
Jesus Jones?
You want to do it now?
Let's do it now.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. Okay?
You didn't say anything. What do you mean that's what I'm talking about?
What we saw yesterday.
Oh.
That is what I'm talking about. Now, I have no knowledge, none, over the ins and outs of what actually went down. And for those of you who don't know, if you were knee-deep in paperwork yesterday afternoon at 2 o'clock.
Maybe you're the control person
Maybe
at your job.
That's right.
Right.
Are you the control person at Hewlett-Packard or something like that? Okay? Are you the control person at the United States Postal Office, San Jose Division? This is what happened at 2 o'clock yesterday. The Giants are trailing 2-0. There's two people on. Harrison on a 1-2 pitch hucks a fastball that's a little uncomfortable. A little high, a little tight. NBD, though.
No big deal.
No big deal. It was an inside pitch. Harper jumps out of the way and immediately screams at Harrison. Throw it over the bleeping plate. Now, if you are a baseball fan, you know the old network and the way things work round these parts. In other words, baseball is always known as policing itself. I largely, through history, hate that stuff. I think it's stupid machismo. Somebody hits a home run, so that means you need to dot them 2 innings later? Why? Because they're good? Because you hung a curveball? Why do they need to pay for that with a big bruise or a broken bone? That's stupid. It's dumb. Even our beloved Snot Rocket, who just could not handle it if somebody wasn't sprinting around the bases when they hit a home run. I think all that stuff is really lame. However, this kind of stuff is interesting. When somebody screams at you on the field, throw it over the bleeping plate. When you say that to a competitor, when they didn't do anything wrong, like literally did nothing wrong, in the heat of battle, you are not going to get a great reaction. That's out of line. It's out of line to scream at a guy who all he did was, he did something physical. He didn't show you up. He didn't dance on you out. He had struck you out twice already in the game. You were 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. And then he threw one inside. That's fine. Throwing inside is part of the deal. So you're sort of challenging Kyle Harrison's ownership of the zone.
Right.
And that's going to be, to a competitor, that's very offensive. So what happens next? Well, next pitch, fastball, even higher.
Even tighter.
And even more inside.
Yeah.
It appears to hit Bryce Harper. It actually doesn't. Turns out it hit the knob of his bat, and a 2-2 count remained 2-2, and Bryce eventually grounded out to short. Now, Kyle is still figuring out his control, and he has had a little trouble sometimes with his control inside against left-handed hitters. I don't know if that had some purpose behind it or not, but I still would like to inject it into my veins, because the one thing I see with Giants baseball right now from people who are under 25, all this play the kids thing, I only want them to play if they can win, if they're actually the best option. But the bigger thing is their attitude. There is a full of life, competitive fire. I mean, even Sean Jelly walking off the mound, screaming and pumping his fists when he got out of the 10th inning and it led to a Giants win 2 nights ago. The fire in the belly that is being shown by the young Giants is absolutely what this team needs and has not had for a number of years. Even their really good players, the Brandons, the Busters.
Sure, they were older guys.
And they're just chill.
Oh, yeah.
They're chill.
Very much so.
Like, hey, you want an autograph? You know,
totally.
Like, whatever. So, to me, And especially because it's Bryce. Dude, you're 22 years old. You just stared at Bryce Harper and basically with your fastball said, how about a big cup of shut the bleep up and get back in the box?
Came at him again. I mean, and he's wild. His arm side control is not great.
Purposeful or not.
And you're throwing 94, 95. Oops.
Right.
My bad.
But
I'm just 22. Sorry about that.
But look at the look in his eye. There's no like, ooh, sorry.
Mr. Harper.
It's just like, yeah, throw the ball back to me.
Right.
We're in the middle of a pitch right now. Get in the box. Let's play ball.
Yeah.
I love
Moxie.
It.
Injected in your veins. I like that. And you look at their team right now and you go Harrison, Luciano, Matos, they're all 22. Randy Rodriguez, Mason Black, Elliot Ramos, they're all 24. Then you get up to Schmidt and Wisely at 25. Patrick Bailey's 25. You start to see a young core. And that's why yesterday we had this discussion about over the next 3 years, or not the next 3 years, in 3 years, who has the best chance in 3 years to win a title. And that's a big reason why I took the Giants, because these guys, Harrison, Luciano, and Matos, will be 25 in 3 years. And Ramos and Wisely and Bailey, they'll be 27 and 28. Logan Webb's only 27. He'll be 30 in 3 years. I like where this core can potentially be in 3 years. And if Kyle Harrison is already going at one of the best hitters in baseball, at least not afraid to throw inside a second time. You know, I don't know how much purpose there was in either pitch, but to your point, he certainly didn't shy away from either moment.
I just think professional sports needs arrogance. It needs it.
Well, especially when you're a pitcher and you're throwing 94, you're throwing 95, you have to have that arrogance.
It's a requirement. It's a requirement. What do we say when we notice little things about Brock Purdy last year? Because if you look at Brock Purdy, again, he looks like your paper boy.
Yeah.
But then you start to notice, he'll get in someone's face. And that's how he reacts to a close game in the fourth quarter or whatever. And you're like, all right, that's my quarterback. Look at Warrior basketball. Are you kidding me? The whole scene is dripping with arrogance. The best shooters of all time, Draymond in his mouth, Clay holding up 4 fingers, Steph keeping receipts. It's dripping with arrogance, and that's a necessity because I just don't think you can perform at the highest of levels with confidence because you're going against the best in the world. You have to be like unnecessarily arrogant. And there are times, and this, quite frankly, is what was really at the core of my rant 2 weeks ago, is when the Dodgers come to town, they look so confident, and you look so scared. You look so overwhelmed when the Dodgers come to town. Have you noticed, and every team has a different thing, you know when a guy hits a double and everybody now's got a thing, you look over the dugout. They all have a thing. They've all got a thing.
Yeah.
But have you noticed what the Dodgers one is?
I haven't.
The YouTube Twitch audience. This like whipping of arms around like multiple times and then doing a spin. Oh my God.
Arrogant.
Obnoxious.
Yeah. Well, you'd love it if you were a Dodger fan.
Exactly. I'm not ripping it. I'm saying you have to match that. When Mookie Betts walks onto a baseball field, he's like, what? You have to.
Well, he's going to go 2 for 5.
Exactly. You have to match that. You have to look at the Dodgers and be like, what, Mookie? And that's what happened yesterday. Bryce flipping bearded Harper screamed at your 22-year-old top pitching prospect. And he said, what, Bryce? What? Get in the box. That's what the Giants have been missing. That you have to have ridiculous swagger. You have to have unbelievable belief. And you have to not back down. I am not in favor. You know this. I'm not in favor of this machismo, let's throw at each other for no reason. But that one had different quirks to it. That one was not because Bryce hit the ball hard or showed somebody up.
Well, he showed up Kyle Harrison.
That's different. It wasn't because he hit a home run and stared at it. It wasn't like you were trying to put him back in his place so much. He's like, dude, I didn't even do anything. Why are you screaming at me? Like, why'd you take it there?
And especially screaming, throw it over the damn plate.
Right.
Where
like, no,
it's not his job to throw it over the plate. His job is to get you out. And if that means I got to brush you back once and maybe brush you back twice, that's how this is going to go. Yeah. And by the way, he got Bryce Harper out after throwing at him once and maybe missing a second time. I don't know if he threw at him either time, but 2 pitches high and tight, and then the result was you got him out.
Yep.
So it turns out it worked. B, maybe we're all going to pitch you like that.
Right.
You know?
I mean, honestly,
get you off your game.
If you play for the Mets and you saw that, where Bryce screams at you because the ball was high and in, then he goes into the clubhouse after the game and goes, dude, I've been hit in the face before. It sucks. You know, I really wasn't that mad. I've got a little PTSD with regard to high and tight from left-handers. Dude, if I'm a left-handed pitcher, and forget the Mets, I mean, I know the Giants don't see him again. If I'm Blake Snell, where's the first pitch? First pitch, first inning, Bryce steps in. Where am I throwing that ball?
Probably high and tight.
Dude, I'm going to buzz your beard. If I know that it's going to help me get you out, I'm not trying to hit you. I'm trying to get you out. And so that's what spoke to me with regard to the way that played yesterday. Purposeful or not doesn't matter. I don't know what Kyle, if he just missed his spot, but the look on his face and the behavior and the execution was, hey, Bryce, I'm not letting you intimidate me.
Right.
I don't care who you are. And the Giants need that because their division is littered with accomplishment. Honestly, Betts and Freeman and Shohei and Tatis and Machado and Corbin Carroll and a team that went to the World Series just a handful of months ago. That's all in your division. You have got to start swaggering into buildings and saying, what? We are here to match that. And I haven't seen that until these last 2 weeks. And the young guys get a lot of credit for it.
They do, and it's tough, though, to come swaggering anywhere when you are 6 games below 500 and you can't score more than 2 or 3 runs a game. It makes it very tough to swagger anywhere, especially when you're Kyle Harrison and you've been a little bit up and down. He hasn't been dominant. He's been good in spots, but by and large, he's been a little bit uneven. Logan Webb is a guy who won't overpower you. Your closer can't close a lot of games because you're not winning late in games. He only has 9 saves, and you have an offense that's been pretty much quiet. So hard to really have much of a swagger until now when you've won 10 of 12 and you do have a young core and you're starting to score runs and you're starting to really make Major League Baseball take notice of you. The only thing worse than a swagger is a false swagger. And if you are 19 and 25 and you're swaggering in anywhere, you get laughed at. When you're a team that you're losing games 3-1, you're losing 2-1, you're losing 3-0. It's hard to really have a real swagger when your team's not playing very well.
I don't disagree with that, but maybe a little bit of a twist in terms of what I actually mean. Like, I don't want you to just like visually swagger and tell the other team like we swagger. I want within the actual game for you to not be intimidated. Like, what I have hated about watching Dodger games against the Giants the last year and a half is the Giants often look like deer in headlights.
Right.
They look intimidated. If you lose to the Dodgers on a Tuesday night, that's not embarrassing. They're good. They're very, very good. But what is embarrassing is when you look like you don't even think you can get them out. And so I want to see players who just do not back down. Logan Webb, you're right. He doesn't throw hard, but my God, what a bulldog. What a total bulldog of an attitude. Wants leadership, wants Bay Area, wants to win every single game. Love Logan Webb. And Kyle Harrison, we're still getting to know. And I thought yesterday was a real cool step. Because when Blake Snell gets his stuff going, you don't need to worry about that attitude. You don't need to worry about that at all.
Right.
And there are others. You know, Jordan Hicks has shown great moxie or whatever word you want out there. And now as FP talked to us about the Latin flavor with the guys like Matos and Ramos, who are finally looking like big leaguers, and it is infectious, and it's bleeding out to every single player out there now. And you've got to do that. That's all I think that's what the fans want to feel. You want to feel like you're like, man, we got a shot. Because our guys, they believe they've got a shot.
Exactly. And that's what it comes down to is, playing like you feel like you've got belief. And the Dodger thing is tough because you go back to last year and the Giants have lost 9 of 11 in the regular season to the Dodgers. And most of those games haven't been that close. And it's felt like the Dodgers, and you could see, like you're talking about the Giants carrying themselves like almost as if, well, we're not going to win this game. Let's just see if we can't make it close and maybe something happens late and we're able to steal one from LA. And that game you were referencing, the game that preceded your rant when they lost 10-2, that was a game that felt really demoralizing. Totally. The crowd was mostly blue and the team barely showed up. And that, I think, was the tipping point, not only for you, but for the team as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, remember, came after the Monday game, which they had it. They had it.
Yep.
And they lost it in extra innings. And that's why I point out Logan Webb, because Logan walks out there on a Wednesday and you're like, okay, morale is at its absolute lowest. And yes, he had to battle through a bumpy first inning, but he did.
Ooh, bases loaded.
Yep, but he battled through it, and then he threw 6 shutout innings. Maybe he gave up 1 run. I can't remember the exact line, but Logan.
Yeah, 6 shutouts.
Yeah, Logan's like, I got you. And I am not scared of the Dodgers lineup. And he went out there and he showed it, and they've been a phenomenal baseball team for 2.5 weeks since then.
Yeah.
And my God, you know when else they're going to need that? This weekend.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Hello. Here comes the damn Pinstripes with the best record in the American League and the best metrics in baseball. They're really good.
Yeah.
They're really good. And I know Kyle won't face them, but boy, I'd love to see it. Soto, Judge, you got some big outs to get this weekend. So they're going to need that. They're going to need that confidence, and that's only going to feel good in the fans if they see it from the players.
Number 1 in baseball in home runs, number 1 in baseball in earned run average, your New York Yankees.
There you go.
And so
it's a pretty good formula.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Really good formula.
When you have the best power hitting lineup and you have the best pitching staff. Philadelphia number 2 in ERA overall.
Over under on Yankee home runs this weekend. Best home run hitting team in baseball.
Oh, I mean,
hardest park to hit it.
Geez.
What do you think?
I would put the over under in 3 games at 4.5.
Ooh.
I think it's a good line.
I think it's a good line.
And who do we have pitching for the Giants? You've got Hicks. And
you're gonna get a
Hicks, Webb, Snell.
You're gonna get a Webb in there too.
Yeah,
I think Snell's gonna go Sunday, right? With the off day, they should be able to maneuver around
the opener.
The opener.
They just had the opener.
Well, let's see. Yankees, you got it. Hicks, Webb, Snell.
All right.
So come
Hicks,
on.
Webb, Snell.
That's three. I mean, I know Snell hasn't shown it, but Hicks throwing well, Webb is throwing well, and Snell should be. He should be ready.
I like 4.5. Would you go over or under the 4.5 on Yankee home runs?
Well, what did we say when you guys earlier said, how many home games has it been? The Giants have hit 18 home runs. There've been
28 home games. 18 hit by the Giants, 22 hit by opponents.
Okay, so
it was 41 home runs total, but that's all right. So
we're only looking at one team though, and so the average for any team, no matter who it is less than a homer a game, right? So 4.5.
Wait, it's 40 home runs in 28 home games?
Yeah, 40 total home runs.
No, but that's for both teams.
Right.
We're only looking at the Yankees. So no individual team has hit more than 1 homer a game at Oracle Park.
On the average,
less than a homer a game. So if
I'm taking the Giants hitting a home run off the table.
Right.
Because they won't homer in this series.
Yes, they will. I'll bet you on that. Come on.
You remember the start of the year when you're like, I just want to see him hit a home run at home.
Just hit one.
Just one. And it took like 5 or 6 games.
How many did they hit in the Philly series? They hit any?
He's eating. Why do you keep asking him?
Because he just forgot.
And Lucas is asleep.
He just got done with a bite.
Yeah, 0.
They didn't hit any. Yeah. They didn't hit. Okay, so they're 0 for the homestand.
They're due.
God.
All right. Yeah.
They're due.
Yes. That's a great bet.
I mean, a half is an unfair line, but
not really. They have not hit one the whole homestand.
And against the best pitching staff in baseball. They're due. They're going to hit one.
Why don't we'll do a bet on both. And that way, we can
split the baby if that's the way it goes.
I'll do something crazy and take all the Giants homer lines. I'll say the Giants will hit at least one homer, and I'll take your under 4.5 on the Yankees.
There you go.
Okay?
Perfect.
All
Done.
Right. What are we betting?
Let's bet a second box of donuts.
Oh, my God.
And I'm going to bring that box of doughs next week.
Yeah, but nobody around here is eating doughs anymore. You're dieting.
We're eating it. It's an afternoon show, so maybe we'll run back a pizza or something.
Okay. Right.
Although last time I did a pizza, that dang DoorDash tab,
dude,
it became a little bit of a pricey pizza. I'll tell you that.
Randy
had 3 slices. He's a happy man.
DoorDash and Uber Eats.
2? I don't know.
I'm just saying, if you DoorDash and Uber Eats, I love them. My hack is you got to order a lot of food. Because, my daughter will be like, Dad, will you DoorDash me Starbucks? I'm like, I'm not doing that for a drink.
Right. It's a $10 coffee.
Keep going.
Yeah, seriously.
That's enough for me, Doug.
I'm not doing that for one.
My wife actually got the Dash Pass for the year.
The Dash Pass is great.
So it was like $99 for the whole year of free DoorDash. Yeah. I mean, you still tip, of course.
Of course.
And we're good tippers, but the DoorDash, the DoorDash fee is off the table. So we've been dashing it up a little bit. Yeah,
no, it helps. Believe me, my kid's been working on me on the Dash Pass for quite some time now. Quite some time. All right, a couple things.